This might have been the most ingenious plan to generate electricity since the invention of hydroelectric power. The IRS said that while it may have been ingenious, it was just an ingenious plan to evade taxes and bilk investors. Solar energy, for all of its promise, still faces at least one barrier to entry, and that is that the panels needed to generate power are very expensive. Manufacturing solar powers incorporates coveted rare earth minerals, and most companies produce them offshore. So when the developers who place these dozens of 30-foot tall towers out here on this 5-acre plot of land in the Utah desert told investors that they were building a solar facility with a new technology, people were understandably excited. The story was that these structures could maximize energy production because they would swivel and follow the sun on its path across the sky. Of course, conventional solar panels are stationary, so this capacity for movement meant that these devices could be built using cheaper materials like reflectors and mirrors, which would keep costs substantially lower. The hook for the investors was the allure of the hefty tax credits for solar energy development that were being offered by the federal government. Investors were drawn into the scheme by the possibility that they could buy into the operation and their entire investment could be offset by a tax credit in that very first year due to the government incentives. That apparently, however, was the entire reason that all of this was built. The IRS said that the whole thing was just a scam. There's no record that any power was ever generated by any of these devices, not even 1 kilowatt hour. Utah Power had no contract to buy any power source from here. When the IRS brought suit, the district court agreed with them and called the entire thing, quote, a massive fraud. That was back in 2018. The principals in this scheme were ordered to pay $50 million in penalties and to stop doing business, and the whole thing was placed into receivership. And the IRS began sending bills for back taxes to those people who had claimed tax credits from this venture. For the last 7 years, this thing has been tied up in endless litigation in the courts. Who knows how much longer these things will still be here. At some point, those endless legal appeals and delays could come to conclusion and the property reclaimed for an actual productive use. The elements and the harsh desert climate are already taking their toll on these structures as they rust and fall apart, and some of them have already collapsed. But this place is still an interesting place to stop and ponder the great lengths that people will go to defraud the government, especially when the government is handing out easy money. If you want to find them, here are the coordinates. If you're anywhere in the area, you'll be able to spot these things sticking up over the otherwise very flat landscape, at least as long as they're still standing. If you're driving to or from Great Basin National Park, it's only a short detour off the main highway to find them. Same thing if you're headed out to the Topaz internment camp. It is more or less about midway between the city of Delta and the Topaz camp. By the way, I also have a video about the Topaz camp and museum, so I'll put a link to that in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click on the thumbs up so that YouTube will share it with other people as well. And if you enjoy the content on my channel, I'd be honored to have you as a subscriber. This is Postcard Dan near the town of Hinckley, Utah.